What's going on? Crazy Russian 86 here, welcome back to another video. So I just watched the video of Life was Overrated 96 and I want to make a video response. And you know what the fuck I want to talk about. By the way, I want to talk about YouTube and how YouTube got worse, and video responses is one of the things, you know. Like, I completely agree too, like, YouTube changed for the worst. And yeah, it started changing, like, I don't know when, but like, as for me, I feel like when the COVID hits, YouTube got way worse than it used to be before that. Even though true, it started getting bad back in, like, I would say like 2011, 2012, around that time. But the good thing came up was monetization. But you know, I like the way YouTube used to be before, where people had the stars, you know, like with ratings, where people used to put video responses, and I like that. I actually like video responses because you can like put a video response to the popular video, which can make you more popular. And it sucks that YouTube got rid of it. It kind of sucks. Another thing, I agree with Life is Overrated too, because like YouTube got worse too because, you know, raspberry peach lime flavor. It soon's gonna be out, but it's really good. I highly recommend. You know, my mom's gonna be like, "Are you waking?" I don't give a fuck. I want my freedom's back. I don't give a shit. You know. I'll do what I want and act how I want, and I expect everybody to tolerate me, that's all. And I'm just gonna work and do whatever. This is what I call freedom. Okay? Freedom. And you know, even though I didn't have a lot of success on YouTube and people's been fucking with me and I've been getting angry all the time, but at least I can say what I want and other people can say what they want too. You know, even though it was not necessarily nice, but I didn't care. People cuss me out, I cuss back at them. And people tell me, oh, there's something wrong with you, need to be nice to fucking infidels. Fuck you, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Because I feel differently. Like I said, my feeling is this. If I'm special, a society should give me special treatment the way I want it to. And if I don't, and if they don't, you know, if people are stronger than me, I'm kissing up to them. If they're weaker than me, I subdue them. That's how I look at things. I don't take shit from people. I don't give a fuck. The only reason why I'm kissing up to people because, you know, I'm afraid of losing money in the job. And I hate it. And I consider myself weak because of that. Because if I was strong, somebody said something I don't like, they will be fucking dead. And I will get away with stuff. You know? That would be like, you know, because like, if I was God, I would make everybody the same. That way people will have no problems. So, but that's just my personal opinion, like I said. That's my personal opinion. You know. And that way I will deal with less bullshit too. You know. I won't have to explain myself to other people. I just like do whatever needs to be done, get the money, get drunk, high, do whatever, hang out, whatever. Or, you know, do things which makes me happy. Without dealing with the criticism. Because if everybody were the same, criticism wouldn't exist either. Norm wouldn't exist. Nothing would exist. All would exist, just do whatever you want. And everything is cool. But let me get back to the point though, you know. So yeah, even though people were cussing me and I was fighting with people, I still liked how people had freedoms. Freedom of speech, you know. I mean, yeah, I was not happy, but then I was blocking people because of it. I was cussing people out because of it. But at least, you know, I was saying whatever the fuck I wanted to say, and people were not shutting me down, you know. And I was not shutting people down either. I was just blocking them, you know. And that's kind of freedom, you know, like, okay, let's say I said something you don't like, I cuss you out, you block me. But at least I have a right to say what I want. Now, there is this family shit and all those community guidelines. And that takes people's freedom away from them, you know. And also, I used to have monetization from like April of 2011 until like March 21st of 2021. For almost 10 years I had it, until one day YouTube took it away from me, and I was supposed to get the money, but I didn't, because I remember end of February I was like $95, and in 3 weeks I already made like $4. So technically Google's supposed to give me $100, but they didn't give me shit. Pretty much Google fucked me for money. And I was really mad about it. And people like, oh sure, you put in racist stuff, you don't deserve the money. And I'm like, fuck this. You know what? I don't care. That's anti-freedom right there. Racist people should have freedom too. Why fucking faggots and lesbians and all these fucking perverts have freedom, but racist people don't? Especially considering the fact that, you know, the minorities destroy everything. So I feel like it's actually anti-American to not to give freedom from racist people. Because when racist people were in power back in the 50s and 60s, American people actually lived better. Families were stronger, people could afford more, people had more money. The only downside was technology, you know. Like now we have technology, back in the day they didn't. And in some ways technology is also a minus, because people can fuck with you. You know, now people know everything about everybody, and they have more ways to fuck with people because of technology. Even though technology gives people more freedom, but at the same time technology gives, you know, more opportunity for people to fuck with them. But regardless of that, I feel like before life was generally better because people could afford more, you know, people didn't have to work as hard to support their families. So it's like, it was still better in a lot of ways, even though I didn't live at that time. But I remember my stepmom was telling me how America was like back in 50s and 60s. I'm like, or some other people telling me that. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, well, I feel like if I would be living in America back in 50s and 60s, I would like America. I really would, you know, based on what people were telling me about America at that time, you know. So, but now we have, yeah, community guidelines, family friendly, and I don't like it either. Even though that has pluses in that people cannot fuck with you like that, but there is a big minus. You can't say what you want either. People like when you say the word fuck, for example, in the comment, or call somebody fucking stupid, nigger, cunt, or whatever, like, you insult people even though they deserve it, you know, you cannot do it anymore. Because that's against community guidelines, so that's anti-freedom, and I don't like it. I feel like it's against freedom of speech. And before, when YouTube started, like I started YouTube in 2009, it was way better. You had to do video responses, people make funny videos, people say whatever they want, you know, there's no censorship, you know, but like, and then YouTube started getting worse, they started changing layouts, and then once COVID hit, YouTube really spoiled. And then I lost my monetization because of the censorship, which I don't agree with, and I got screwed over of $100, which I actually made legally. And I lost my partnership forever. And that was fucked up, you know? Because I feel like, okay, even if you put racist stuff according to a lot of people, so fucking what? It's a freedom of speech here. You can put whatever the fuck you want. That's the point of it. Like, to me, that was appealing about YouTube, so I can express myself. And there are other platforms too. You know, like Life is Overrated, been talking about there are other platforms and stuff, you know. And yes, there is Rumble, like brother Nathaniel, he moved from YouTube to Rumble. You know, and there's other one I forgot, there's Black Spot. You know, there are other platforms too. And I was even considering moving to Rumble myself and started my own channel over there, but then I'm like, fuck it. I just didn't feel like doing it. But a year ago, I was literally at the point where I was feeling like, fuck YouTube, I just want to move to the different platform and do my shit over there. And I think I even opened the account over there too, but then I'm like, I don't know, for some reason I felt like I'm just not gonna do it. I just decided to stay on YouTube because I got so used to it, you know. But I actually felt like moving to the different platform myself. And I think I even did, almost did. I think I made an account on Rumble, but I never got into like putting videos over there. I wanted to do it, but then I just changed my mind, you know. But I really was thinking about, because I got sick of it, with all this anti-freedom type of stuff, you know. I really wanted to just get the fuck out of YouTube year ago. But then I just like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay, I don't care, you know. But I really was thinking about it, seriously. I was seriously thinking about quitting YouTube at some point a year ago. I remember that. So, because of all the stuff, like censorship and all of that. And I freaking hate it. I wish YouTube got back to where it was back in, like 15 years ago myself. I feel like 15 years ago YouTube was way better. And it was more fun and more freedom. You know, I just enjoy like making anything I want. And then after that it was okay once I got my monetization for the first couple years. But like I said, once COVID hit, it was bad. Like, after that I was still doing YouTube, but it was like, you know. I stopped caring about editing videos. I stopped caring a lot about other stuff. And I lost my that gateway computer where I had this program. I know what happened to it. I don't remember. Maybe I sold it to somebody for $100 or whatever. You know, I got a new computer which was cool, the Apple one, and I gave it away because it got all messed up due to the things going on with me, like I guess being on this weird ass probation people didn't tell me about, but it really like fucked a lot of things up for me. And also I didn't like the fact that I got this computer also because, you know, when I got an Apple computer, which I don't have anymore, I had Final Cut, but you know, it was all copyrighted and stuff. Like on my old computer, I can just like pirate music or get music and then edit videos with the music I have on my computer, you know, using video editing program. But now on my previous computer, Apple computer, like you can't put this on your video, copyright, can't put that, copyright, can't put that, copyright. And that's also kind of anti-freedom. Even though that was one thing which I didn't like when I used to have monetization, you know, that I can just like put somebody else's music just for fun. Like for example, I drink in video and I put like My Chemical Romance. It's not gonna get monetized, right? And I didn't like it. Because to me, it was not like I'm taking somebody else's content. It was like me enjoying music and having a nice drink, you know? And I actually didn't like that copyright bullshit either. Because like, what the fuck, if I'm drinking and having fun and putting somebody else's music, it's like I can't monetize. You know? Or if I want to make a nice video and I put nice music in the background while I'm talking, for example. Cannot do it either. Copyright, cannot be monetized. I didn't like that shit either, you know? I understand they're all concerned about like, oh, you're stealing somebody else's shit, whatever. But it's like, it's not necessarily I'm stealing somebody else's shit, you know. It's like, I just want to, you know, be creative about things and put music on while I'm drinking or blogging or whatever. Just like for fun, you know. And I just don't like the fact that because of that I cannot like do monetization. Just like I don't like the fact that if I say whatever I want and people consider that racist or anti-Semitic or hateful whatever or against community guidelines, you know, I don't like that shit. Like that's anti-freedom. And I feel like I don't like the fact that because of that people are taking monetization away from me. Or you're not being family friendly. Because you're using a lot of bad words in your language. In your videos, whatever, like fuck that, you know, like that's something I personally don't like. To me, that's anti-freedom. It's like punishing me for doing whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't like it. And I don't agree with YouTube taking my monetization away from me. And I don't agree with this YouTube, like, fucking, you know, like taking away some of my videos or like restricting access to my videos. Where I was talking about like white supremacy, for example. Oh, people not gonna like, I don't give a fuck. I want my freedoms back. I don't care who's gonna like me or not like me. You know? I just don't care. I want my freedoms back. I don't fucking care. I used to live better before. At least I had more fun and more freedoms and more money. Didn't have to worry about, you know, a lot of things. Just go to work, mind my business, and, you know, my life was better. So, even though I didn't like that people been fucking with me, you know, but I just don't care. I really don't. So, and I still like to have my freedoms. And I still feel the way I feel, so. If you're weird, you still should have your freedoms. If you're racist, you should have your freedoms. People don't like it, they say something I don't like, they have their freedoms too. But I have a freedom to block them. I like it that way better than this freaking censorship. You know? And also, like I said, I like video responses too. So you can like try to be more popular. Even though people say, oh, don't be popular because people are gonna see how weird you are. Well, so what? If I'm popular, I have monetization, people see how weird I am, I still get a little bit more money. You know, so what? I don't fucking care. I don't care. I do whatever works for me, you know. People hate anybody, now whether people normal or not. So, it's whatever. I still would rather have my freedoms and do whatever the fuck I want to do than to deal with the bullshit. So, still. So yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That was my response to Life is Over 896. I wish I can put it as a video response, but I can't anymore because YouTube changed. It's not for the best. So, and a lot of things didn't change for the best either. Like, I like the way things were 15 years ago versus today. You know, when I was younger, had more freedoms. I was getting drunk and editing my videos, was being creative about it, and didn't have to worry about copyright. Things change, it's not for the best. And I didn't have to worry about censorship or copyright. So that's a big minus right there, like I told you prior. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Leave comments, let me know what you think. Oh yeah, I forgot to say one thing, which I like about YouTube. That before we used to have likes and dislikes, now it's only likes. I kind of like that because I don't like dislikes, but again, I guess it's also kind of anti-freedom because like people should have a right to express how they feel. But then again, people can always disable ratings or disable comments, which actually that's a feature I like. But sucks that they got rid of video responses, and I hate that. I wish they wouldn't do it. But anyway guys, that's it. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Crazy Russian 86. Leave a comment. And I'm out. All the best to you guys. Later.